It took me 6 months to go from getting 0 leads from YouTube to getting leads every single day into my business. And honestly, if I knew what I know now back in 2022, I could have done that way faster. In this video, I'll break down the exact YouTube content strategy working for me and hundreds of other entrepreneurs to drive actual leads and sales into their business. This strategy is so good, it allows me to sign new clients every single week without chasing anybody down and without any past experience with content creation. I'm not only going to reveal this strategy, but I'm going to tell you how you could implement it step by step to start signing clients for your business immediately. If you've been stuck trying to figure out how to make YouTube content work for your business, this is the video that will change everything for you. We're going to cover exactly how to come up with content ideas that are going to drive leads and not just views, the exact strategy top entrepreneurs are using to drive in leads for their business so that you could just copy their framework, and how to get your videos discovered by the right audience and appease YouTube's algorithm so that you could start booking calls immediately. This isn't about gimmicks, this isn't about vanity metrics, and it's not about going viral. It's about creating videos that make people want to work with you. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Riley Madden. We help business owners scale using YouTube and generate high quality leads through organic YouTube content using the same strategy that took my business from $0 to 6 figures in 1 year. So the cool thing about getting leads from your YouTube channel is it's pretty similar to starting a business. Number one, you're going to figure out your viewers' problems, and this is sort of like market research. Number two, you're going to create content that solves that problem, sort of like a product or a service. And number three, you're going to package it to get more attention and have them wanting more, sort of like your sales page or marketing. See, you know more about YouTube than you thought you did. So to get started on creating the content ideas, you need to know your audience, as different videos you create will speak to different audiences. Now, I like to group these in 3 different sections: least aware, moderately aware, and most aware. So for example, with my niche, which is business owners looking to get leads through YouTube, the least aware category would be business owners who didn't even know that they could generate leads on YouTube. So it's very broad. Moderately aware are going to be the people who know that YouTube can be used for business, but they're looking for more information on exact strategies on how they could use it, or maybe what they're doing wrong. And most aware would be people who already have YouTube channels for their businesses. They know they could get clients from YouTube, but something's off about their strategy, or they're just looking to either perfect their strategy or change it up in order to drive in more sales. So you can make content speaking to all 3 of these audiences, but before you script out any content or come up with any ideas, you definitely want to bucket whatever idea you have into the right category. That way, as you're speaking to your audience, you're not talking about advanced topics to people who aren't even aware that YouTube could be used for business. So you want to understand who the viewer is and what do they already like to watch. And a great way to start out doing this is to go on YouTube. What you want to do is you want to search out the people who are already making content in your space, and you could even filter this out in order to get the highest view count to really see what's resonating with the viewers. You want to look through the comments on the top performing videos and see what they're commenting, see what they like, what they don't like, what they wish would have been included in the video, the biggest problems they have, and what really resonated most with them. Because trust me, people will put it all in the comments. Now you want to take notes on these items, slap them into a Google Doc sheet, and then you're going to start with the brainstorming process along with finding exact problems that your audience is searching for answers for. The big thing you want to ask yourself is what results are they looking for in their own lives and the biggest problems that they are going through. So these will be helpful not only for topic ideas, but exactly what to talk about in your videos. You want your videos to actually help your audience and give them what they want. And it's important to note that if a topic or a video title or a whole video idea is working very well for someone on YouTube, you should never copy it exactly how it is. You want to make it rhyme, not repeat. And there's just no way around that, because YouTube is a platform where your results for your search term are going to show up right there. And if that need has already been filled by somebody else, for you to copy the same exact idea is not going to give them a reason to want to click. There's no curiosity gap. They already have their answer from somebody else. Yes, you're a different person and you have a different perspective, and that could always drive in views. But we always like to fill a new or similar gap in the marketplace. That way you're driving the largest amount of viewers to that video as possible, because we're not in this for the breadcrumbs. So here are the best tactical ways you could do this. Number one, you can make a simplified or quicker version of that. Save people time and confusion, always work. Number two, you can make it more entertaining. So you could package it kind of like a Mr. Beast video or a challenge style, but have some stakes in the video and wrap it up in entertaining packaging along with delivering more of an entertaining experience for the viewer. Number three, you could add personality. So you could obviously add your relative stories in there and ask yourself how to make them want to hang out with you and be that person in your video. Don't be too boring in it if this is the angle you're taking, but truly be yourself, make it funny, let your personality shine through, and that's going to let the audience resonate with you over somebody else. And it'll add a different twist to the whole dynamic. Number four, if you have more social proof. So how often are you getting new case studies? Does your program or whatever you're teaching actually work? And can you show that? That'll get you to stand out in no time. And going along those lines, more credibility or credentials. Say a chef made a video on how to make the perfect salmon, and the thumbnail was just a picture of him with the frying pan and salmon in it. And another chef made the same exact video with the frying pan. That's not really enticing anybody to choose his, especially if the guy's been there first and he already has accumulated those views, because that's social proof alone. But if the guy packaged a video and said how to cook the best salmon from a 5-star chef, that's way more enticing. He has the credentials. I'm going to click on that because it's from somebody that knows what they're doing. One last way is you could add more value. Probably thinking, well, how do I show that I'm adding more value just with the packaging? Because obviously a video could be more valuable than others. Naturally, that will attract more people because once people watch it, they stay for longer and you might outrank that video before you. But there is a way to show value before they ever click, to give yourself a completely different angle. So if you were making videos, say on maybe the mortgage process, and one video was titled, How to Get a Loan in 2025. So if you were in the loan space, say you're making videos as a mortgage officer, and one person had a title, How to Get a Home Loan in 2025, versus Complete Guide on How to Qualify for a Loan with the Lowest Interest Rate. The first video was 15 minutes and the complete guide was 30 minutes. Right off the bat, this person's giving me more. They're giving me a complete strategy, everything I need to know, and they're going to help me qualify for the lowest interest rate possible. So automatically, if I had to choose between those two videos, I would definitely choose the second one because their packaging made it seem like they're giving me more. There's more value in it. It's a complete guide, number one. And number two, they're adding a different stipulation in there. They're saying how to get the lowest interest rate as well. So that's a way that you could package your value in the content to show that you are above everyone else in the space. And another way is to say maybe make like a free course. We just tried this out with a client that we work with for their car rental coaching company. And if you could be the first person to provide like a free course or like a 2-hour long video breaking down what people need to know about whatever subjects you teach, this is going to provide a lot of value to that marketplace. And people are going to see you automatically as the authority, especially if you're giving all of that information away for free. That's definitely not only a way to stand out, but people also type into their search bar like free course on starting a car rental business. So now you're capturing that long tail search term, and you're also going to just be a standout because you're providing 2-hour value compared to everyone else's 15 to 20 minute videos. So 3 key principles how you could take winning ideas and make them your own would come down to number 1, being better or different than them. Number 2, being a master of education, mixing tutorials and breakdowns using analogies, helping them understand the concept the better. The best teacher always wins. And number 3 would be to connect more. Vlog, show your personality, show your commentary, your unique perspective, and your philosophies. Because those are yours, your stories, nobody could take that away from you. And that's a way to stand out and deeper connect with your audience. And it's very important to show your unique selling proposition in that packaging. That way people don't think, oh, I've watched this before, oh, I know the answer to this. You're providing a unique angle that really takes to that curiosity gap and makes them want to click. And in YouTube, you gotta win the click to win the game. So here's some actionable ways you could make your packaging different. You could have a more clear or more attention-grabbing thumbnail. You could have like a novelty or new title format, so framing something as a new idea, like the new way to grow your car rental business in 2025, or something along those lines. Novelty bias is something we all have. If something seems like it's new or there's a new way to do something, that'll automatically drive traffic. Another one could be adding in catches or stipulations, so saying with no experience. So how to start a car rental business with no experience compared to how to start a car rental business. And you could even put in the thumbnail, anybody can do this, it's so easy. Or even frame it as how to actually start a car rental business in 2025. That basically is stating that everyone else in the niche isn't giving you like the true information. This is how you actually do it. They're pretty much wrong. Or say like starting a car rental business was hard until I understood this. That's giving a different catch, a different stipulation, and it's basically saying you figured out how to make it easy and you're gonna share that with them. Or you could show, I simplified starting a car rental business. Here's how. You made something complex simple, and that's just going back to the simplicity concept, so that's how you show that in the packaging. Or you could say 5 things I've learned from starting a car rental business. So that's positioning you as the authority. It's showing your credibility because you've already done that and you're going to show them what you've learned from going through that experience. And this is one I like a lot. It's one I see in the big guru space. So you have your big 7-8 figure entrepreneurs who are teaching business, and then you have smaller business coaches. So what a smaller business coach could do and really leverage is say, the business guru's advice will make you broke. Do this instead. So that's basically saying the gurus are getting like too over their head with information, and you're basically disarming them and saying that their advice is going to make you broke. It's only for them at their level. Do this instead. And that's a great angle a business coach could take to really compete with bigger names, because they're giving more one-on-one. They might be closer to your level, but a few steps ahead, where they know your position better than those people that might have forgot what it's like to be a smaller business person. So that's a great angle any business coach could take. And to come up with great ideas for YouTube that's going to serve your niche very well, you could leverage these factors. Number 1, why people buy from you or why they don't. Number 2, what most people struggle with in your field. Number 3, specific demographics you serve, you could speak directly to them. And number 4, you could capitalize on trends and stories that are happening in your field. So where can you exactly source this information? Well, a few great ways to source this is previous sales calls, your current clients, comments on ads or posts in your field, or like I said, other YouTube videos, browsing your niche on YouTube, and see what other business owners in your field are doing and exploring. You see, when I first started my channel for my business, I was worried that I was going to run out of things to talk about. Then I realized my audience was full of questions about my industry. Every client call, every consultation, and even just common concerns that they had quickly became a new video topic for me. And it really came down to, once I focused on serving my audience's needs, I found endless content ideas. Now I have literally a growing list of content ideas to cover that will take me years and years to cover. And I have a community that actively engages in my content. So one other way that you could find great content ideas is actually looking up blogs and going on Google instead of YouTube. When I first started my real estate channel a few years ago, what I did was I looked up the top ranking blogs blogs and just saw what's already on the internet, what's ranking high, and those were for my specific search terms, which in that case was living in Pittsburgh and moving to Pittsburgh, as I had a real estate business that specialized in relocating people from out of town. So basically, when it comes to looking at blogs, just look what's ranking high. They honestly have great content in it that could be the body of your video. It's especially good if you're just getting started. It really streamlines the process of scripting, even their titles. I mean, you could take inspiration from them, but it's easier to copy a blog than copy something that's already on the platform that you're posting on. So never copy from YouTube, take inspiration, see where the gaps that you could feel are. But with blogs, I mean, if there's a blog, you could turn that blog into a video, and some people who prefer to watch videos over reading are just going to choose your video right away. And what's great is YouTube is owned by Google. Google is the #1 search engine in the world, and YouTube videos rank on Google because of that. So a lot of my videos rank on Google search along with YouTube. So now you're capturing the audience that goes on Google for information and YouTube for information. And those are the first and second largest search engines in the world. You guys talk about SEO, organic content. This is where you need to be. And please don't trust one of those SEO experts that reach out to you and say you're doing everything wrong and your score is a 47 out of 100. Probably a scam. So now you have idea creation down and a better understanding of your audiences and how to speak to them. Now we're gonna section these off to top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel, along with different content buckets that business owners need to be using. So your top of funnel content will appeal to the least aware people. Your goal with this content is to drive people into your world. Let them know who you are, what your philosophy is, and what your unique selling proposition is. This is broad content. People don't have to know exactly what you teach, but it's a way to make captivating content that a lot of people would be interested in. Middle of funnel will make up content that speaks directly to the people that you're looking to serve, but isn't super niche or extremely boxed only to the people already invested. And this should make up the bulk of your content. These are things that are going to solve your ideal audience's problems, teach them new things, give them specific information that they're looking for, with the ability to keep a broader strategy by angling it in a way that might appeal to your top of funnel or bottom of funnel people. And bottom of funnel is as niche as you could be. It could look like current case studies of clients that you've worked with, very complex or nuances of things that they're looking to learn, demonstration videos, long courses would go here because trust me, not everybody has the attention span to go through a 2 to 3 hour video unless they're super invested in what you teach. And the idea for this content is that it nurtures your warmest leads and viewers and people already invested in your concept. So these are the ones that'll really book up your calendar, but they might not get the biggest reach or be your best performing videos. For example, if I was teaching people how to lose weight with strength training, it would look something like this. The top of funnel would be the new way to lose weight. This appeals to everyone who's looking to lose weight, even if they've never heard of strength training before. The middle of the funnel would be the best strength training routine for weight loss. This appeals to people who know that strength training is a good strategy for weight loss and they're looking for more information on it. And bottom of funnel could look like how our client lost 6 pounds in 2 months with our strength training routine. So only people interested already in your topic and your philosophy would really be interested in the bottom of funnel content like your case studies and more technical information that they might not care to watch unless they've already built that relationship with you. So now you know how to come up with ideas that drive in your target audience and how to provide so much value to them that they have no choice but to work with you. Next, I'm going to show you the exact formats and the content buckets that business owners need to use in order to structure your videos and actually turn views into leads, along with the strategy business owners are using so that you could copy them. And if any of this sounds complex, I actually help business owners just like you build out custom YouTube strategies that are tailored to their business and and also have done-for-you solutions. So if you want to skip the trial and error or you want it all done for you, you could book a call with me. The link is in the description below. We'll map you out a strategy that gets you leads and booked calls without wasting time on things that just don't work. So now let's dive back into the next step. So there are about 5 main business owner buckets. Number 1 is going to be trainings or mini courses. So you could really pull up a Google Doc and go through whatever concept you're teaching pretty much in depth. You want to give them trainings on specific things you teach. And these videos tend to do very well as you provide a lot of value to your viewers by giving them in-depth trainings and mini courses on information they are dying to know. Number 2 could be more story and ranting videos. You see Alex Hormozi making these videos and a lot of other business owners, but it's basically, say I have an experience in my business and I want to share that with my audience, I would just get on here and talk about what I've learned from this lesson, what personally happened for me, what I took away from it, and what you could take away from it. Doesn't have to be super structured. I would always include a hook and intro, let people know what they're going to get. Other than that, you could really just tell the story how you would if you were talking to someone in real life. Number 3 would be collaboration. So you could collaborate with other people in your space or experts. Say you teach YouTube just for entertainment. You could collaborate with script writers, SEO specialists, thumbnail designers, editors, and a lot of people in that space in order to provide as much value to your audience who's looking to learn YouTube. The next one would be case studies. So I have a complete template on all of these different buckets and exactly how to structure that video. But for case studies, you want to bring on a client and ask them specific questions about your service, product, where they were before it happened, how it transformed them, what they would say to people who haven't yet booked a call with you to discover your solutions, and really just showing social proof along with sharing a client's transformation with you. And then the 5th one, which is probably the most common and the most used, is just going to be tutorials and how-to videos. So how to script a YouTube video, or how to generate leads with YouTube, or how to cook salmon. It's that simple. You just want to break down basically your video into actionable steps they could take, and you could spice it up with some stories, analogies, and always, like I said, you always want to make sure that hook, intro, and outro are in there along with your call to actions, but we will get to that in a moment. So I also wanted to share with you the most popular formats that you will see YouTube videos being made under. So number 1 would be the tutorial, how to achieve whatever desired result the audience is seeking. Number 2 would be challenges, which play on the urge to see something never experienced before, and it really has stakes and you want to stay for that payoff. Number 3 would be a breakdown video. So answer questions we don't know the answer to, like what happened, how do I do it, and what is the formula. Number 4 could be a commentary. This does well on YouTube because it's YouTube, so your commentary, whatever your personal opinions are always welcome in the space. So this could be your different perspectives on something, your personal opinions, or your reactions. You see a lot of people just have reaction-based videos. I think Mr. Beast has a channel like Mr. Beast Reacts. You just either react to other people's content, to gaming, to whatever it is. And then the last one would be a vlog style. Now these used to be super popular in the YouTube space, but now they're not as much, and the cinematic isn't as much either anymore. But vlogs are still good to incorporate because it could give a glimpse on someone's daily life, their personality, and that's more of the connection content that allows you to connect with your audience. Oh, I lied, that wasn't the last one. The last one is going to be interviews. So you guys see podcasts all the time. And like I said before, interviews with script writers or SEO specialists. Interviews always do well. There's 2 people, 2 experts giving tangible advice. So now you know what to make content on, what value to provide to who, how to come up with video ideas that'll drive sales, and how to actually format these videos. But what's the actual strategy to get booked calls from this and not just people viewing my videos? When it comes to YouTube, you should have call to actions in all of your videos, and depending on the length and your overall strategy, you could have a few call to actions in one video. And this is especially important to put one, I would say 1/3 through the video, because not everybody stays till the end, and now they're not going to know what you offer to the marketplace and that could be a solution that drastically changes their life or helps them save time or money. So you want to make sure they know what you offer, so you can't just put it at the end. You need to throw it somewhere in the beginning/middle of the content. And this is kind of like the give to ask ratio. Imagine watching your favorite TV show and every so often there's a commercial break. At first it feels kind of disruptive, but then over time you start to realize the commercials that really work don't feel like interruptions. They're pretty much seamlessly tied to your emotions, your curiosity, desires, and needs. They're very strategic, and that's exactly how CTAs on YouTube should feel. You shouldn't make it into some big sales pitch. You should be very nonchalant about it, especially at the one that's towards the beginning more, and let them know what is there. And that's why understanding your audience is so important. You want to tailor your CTA based on what they would find valuable, tie it to their desires, and do it in a nonchalant way and let them know what you have to offer. So here are 3 steps to a good CTA that'll transform your views into booked calls. Number 1, earning the trust. You want to give insights they could use immediately and prove you know what you're talking about. Number 2, you should create that curiosity. Call to action should make you think, if I'm getting this much for free, how much more would I get if I worked with this person one-on-one? And number 3, making it easy and clear. They should be very straightforward and very actionable, like clicking a link to book a call. A big mistake I did when I first started my YouTube channel was I knew that we needed to put them somewhere in the beginning because most people drop off by the end of the video. So I put it at the very beginning, like right after the hook. And what I noticed when I studied my retention graphs is I had a huge drop off while I was doing that CTA, or even just a skip over of it. So I wasn't providing enough value yet. I didn't give them what they came for the video yet, and I was just giving an ask right away. So that could come off too harsh, too abrasive. People could bail out, or they'll just skip over it, and then they won't stay till the end maybe and not hear anything about what I offer. So that's when it comes down to the importance of studying your retention graph, knowing where the dips are, knowing what people aren't interested in, and where the spikes are, where they are interested in, and give them more of the spikes. And then I switched my CTAs to be after like my first segment, so about a third way through of the video, and I noticed that I didn't get barely any drop-offs when I did that, and when I switched my strategy to not make it as long, but to make it quick and concise. Now on YouTube, the give is everything you provide, your value, your insights, your solutions that you're providing in the content. And the ask is your CTA, so whether that's booking a call, subscribing, or watching your next video. If you're giving enough value, the ask feels like a natural step, not a hard sell. YouTube is not hard selling culture. So here's a little framework for crafting your CTA. Remember, give before you ask, share a few tactical things that they could take away before ever putting your call to action in there. You could also frame it as a gift. So if you found this helpful, imagine what we could do together if you booked a call. And I like to say, keep it sneaky, not salesy. It should tie in effortlessly, like it's a next step, it's a no-brainer, and not, again, like it's a big disruption. Now, depending on your strategy will be the CTA that you want to use, whether you want them to book a call instantly, to download a free resource. That's really up to your funnel, how you like to funnel people into your world and how you want to nurture them. And the channels I personally have and the channels I work with, we notice a lot of times it's to go book a call, and that seems to be the most actionable step. At the end of the day, you want to get them on the call. That's the goal, to get them into your world. So if you have that and you're nurturing them through your content, we find that a lot of people will book that call, especially because they spent time with you. You gave them value already. They know you, they know what you're about. Now it's more comfortable for them to book a call compared to maybe some flashy ad that they only saw you for a few seconds. So now I'm going to share with you the exact steps you should take to optimize your content and to ultimately help the algorithm work in your favor and get discovered, because you can't book calls if nobody's watching your stuff. So you know how to create ideas, you know how to format them, but what are the key factors to succeeding on YouTube? There's the thumbnail, the title, the intro, the content, the viewer satisfaction, and the view duration. And I will explain all of these so that you further understand. So just so you know, YouTube bases all of your success off of your click-through rate and your average view duration. So how many people can you get to click and how long do they stay on average? And you have to remember YouTube wants as many people to stay because they are a business too, and that way they could feed those people ads and in return get ad revenue. So YouTube's whole goal is to keep people on the platform. So if you could get them to click and stay, they will reward you by throwing your videos out to the right audience and maybe even test them with new audiences, suggest them after videos that are similar to yours. So whenever YouTube goes to work for you, it's extremely powerful. So first, let's talk about the thumbnail. So the goal with a thumbnail is to stop the scroll. You also want to complement the title and make it very close to the opening frame of the video, while also being eye-catching and capturing what they're going to get from the video. So we're going to do a full video on thumbnails because there is a lot to cover, but I'm going to give you the key tidbits that make up a good thumbnail and the different formats you could use. So you could do a moment thumbnail, which shows a glimpse right before a powerful reaction. You could do a story thumbnail, which introduces a part of the story, usually a part that has tension or drives curiosity, or even just sets up the first act of the story. Number 3, a result thumbnail. These are very popular in the business space. So if you're teaching somebody how to make $100,000 in 100 days, you might have $100,000 of cash here because that's the result they're looking for. And maybe in 100 days on there. Transformation thumbnails are very popular as well. So how to go from 0 to 100K, put 0 here and $100,000 here. And you could split the screen, you could use an arrow, you could use a straight arrow, whatever you prefer, but you want to show that that's transformed. You could even do yourself before you had 100K looking maybe a little bummy, and then with 100K, maybe you're wearing a nice leather jacket. Whatever the transformation is, you just want to showcase that through the thumbnail. And then a novelty thumbnail is something never seen before, that new concept that gets all of our attention because of our novelty bias. Now, you always want to make sure to include some of these into your thumbnail because these are the scroll stoppers. Number 1, you have faces. Now, faces are very important in the thumbnail. They should pretty much take up 1/3 of the thumbnail, especially if you're in it. Now, if it's a background video of a beach with music, then no, you don't need a face in there. But if it's something like this where I'm teaching you and you're going to be spending time with me, I'm going to put my thumbnail, I'm going to put my face right on that thumbnail so you know who you're spending time with for the next 40 minutes. Another scroll stopper could be familiarity. So I'm sure you guys have seen these if you're in the business space. You've seen like a Stripe payment and it'll say Stripe plus $5,000, or maybe like a tweet and it'll say Riley Madden tweeted how to grow on YouTube. Well, you need to know these 3 things. The reason these work so well is because it's things you're familiar with. So we all have the familiarity bias as well. So if you see a Stripe logo or you see a tweet, you see a LinkedIn, you see an iMessage notification, these are all things that are going to stop your scroll because you're familiar and you see these icons all the time. Money could be another scroll stopper, large numbers, anything with movement, like instead of me going like this, and that would just catch your attention more. Anything with danger, anything with emotion, anything that's bright and maybe vibrant, or something that's just aesthetically pleasing. You guys have seen those aesthetically pleasing thumbnails where you have like 6 different shades of green and like maybe a to-do list and a green juice and maybe like a grocery store. And they just look aesthetically pleasing and the videos are usually aesthetic to keep up with that thumbnail. So always in your thumbnail, you have the main character, which in this case, it would be me. And then everything else is drawing attention to that main character or complementing it. And simply for the color scheme, contrast works very well. Maybe a dark background with bright text, maybe an outline on the words or on the key elements, and then text on thumbnails. This could really help you get clicks because if your title is how to learn how to drive a car and your thumbnail is just maybe someone at the DMV and they have someone next to them and they're learning how to drive a car. Well, what could get you to click more is a phrase that drives either urgency, fear, desire, curiosity, but really complements that title. So how to drive a car with just a photo compared to how to drive a car with a thumbnail text still that same setting, but the thumbnail text saying, "You must know this," or "Watch before your test," everything you need to know. Makes it 100 times more compelling. It gives that little nudge to get you to want to click. And it shouldn't be like a big sentence. They should be very clear, bold, easy to read, and maybe like 5 characters max. And you should never repeat what's in your title. I see this all the time. So if it was how to learn how to drive a car, they would say, "Learn how to drive." It's already in the title. You want something else going to complement it, but not repeat it. Always very well in thumbnails. So you want to have 3 basically elements. So the person, maybe the car, and then the text, and that would be enough to tell the story and not overcrowd it, because you don't get that much space on a thumbnail. And now onto titling. Your job for the title is to include your keywords and make it as short and catchy as possible while including those keywords in there. The main focus of a title is curiosity. Curiosity trumps all when it comes to your title. But other things you could leverage would be desire, fear, or pain. Or maybe that novelty bias. So the new way to cook salmon. If you saw that, you would click it, because what? I didn't know there was a new way to cook salmon. I cooked it the same way ever, in a frying pan. But maybe in the air fryer is the new way to cook it because it's better that way. So it's just a novelty thing. Remember, showing that new way to do something. Or maybe why business owners fail at YouTube. That's giving more of a fear approach. And like, I don't want to fail on YouTube. Why are they failing? I better click to find out the information. Or again, credibility. So how I passed my driver's exam. I already did it, I just did it recently, and I'm gonna teach you how to do it too. Or 3 steps to generate leads on YouTube. That is playing to the desire. They want to generate leads on YouTube. You're going to give them 3 steps on how to do it. Your keywords that are in there, leads in YouTube, specifically for me, so that works well. And next is your intro. So you want the intro, its main goal is to instantly deliver on the expectations of the title and the thumbnail. The first sentence should match the title, and the first shot of the video should match the thumbnail. In the intro, the hook would be that first sentence, first few seconds. You want it to match that title. And then you want to show why you're qualified to speak on the topic. So throw your credibility in there, because we're not wasting time listening to fake coaches and fake gurus that haven't done it themselves and are just trying to teach us how to do it. No, thank you. We want to know you've done it, you've been there, and you're qualified to speak on the subject. And then you want to make it clear who the video is for. So call out your audience. If this is for business owners wanting to scale on YouTube, I'm going to say, if you're a business owner looking to scale on YouTube, this video is the only one you need to watch, or something like that. You want to make it known that's who it's for. And you could even do a different angle and say, if you're not a business owner, click off of this video right away. Then you want to broadly outline what the video is going to cover, the main 3 steps maybe, or just what they're going to get out of it. And maybe give them a reason to stay until the end, and maybe pre-handle any objections they might have so that they're more willing to watch and stay further. Of course, you want to provide context on everything in the intro, create some curiosity gaps and stakes for later in the video. And you want to make sure it's crafted accordingly. So you want to do the hook, the credibility, and then you could mix kind of the different elements into the rest of that intro. And you don't want to make it too long either. You got to get into the meat pretty fast. So now to the meat. You want to make it as long as possible. Remember, YouTube is about average view durations. The person with the average view duration that is the longest will be YouTube's best friend, and they will push you out. So you don't want to make long videos that just don't have any value, but you truly want to put a lot of time, effort into each video and make it as long as you can, because the longer the video, the more people who click, the more money YouTube makes, the more money you make in turn. So in the body, you want to have good pacing. You don't want to have one segment be way too long and other segments be real short and it's mismatched. You kind of want to keep it consistent and have your longer segments towards the end. You also want to tell some stories to not only illustrate your point, but to capture their attention and to build connection. And you want to add some visual variety when it comes to edits. So maybe some different camera switch up, maybe some zoom in, zoom out, some text on the screen, some B-roll, some animations, things to keep them engaged and to reset that brain pattern. But if your audience is someone like business owners, you don't need to have super flashy edits all the time. It might honestly be too distracting for them. They're used to sitting in seminars. They're used to sitting in seminars, to watching videos specifically for learning, compared to kids who are going to need way more action to keep their attention because they're looking for more of that dopamine excitement compared to business owners that really want to get value and learn something out of the video. That's why entertainment people should not be teaching YouTube for business. So throughout the body, you want to use analogies to better explain your topic. Again, stories and personal experiences to strengthen your credibility and to be more relatable. You want to deliver on the promises made on the intro, or else you will lose trust. Reinforce your credibility where you can. You want to make sure it has sections and structure to it. So if you're giving 3 points, make those 3 points pretty cleared and outlined. Don't go from here and then talk about this one. You want to make it structured. Solve the problem they came for. Maybe subtly mention some other videos to get them in that binge watching state. Like, oh, well, if you like this, you're going to love the video we made. So make sure you keep an eye out for it. Subscribe. We'll link it right here in the card notes. And you really want to focus on that viewer satisfaction. You want to make sure they feel satisfied, all of the payoffs were met, everything you promised, you delivered. It captures their attention throughout. It means something to them personally. It makes them feel like their time was well spent, teaches them something new, and provides accurate information that is honestly relevant to their interests. And that is what viewers want. It was actually done on brain scans of people watching content that they found out this is what people want. Different ages had a slightly different, but overall was pretty much the same. And those are the key pillars to making that happen. Now, I get this stuff is complex and you're running a business, so if this will be too time consuming, we will gladly do it for you. From ideation, strategy, scripting, thumbnail, editing, title, uploading, description, and ongoing channel management, we will turn your YouTube channel into your business's biggest lead generation machine. Just book a call with the link in the description below, and we can map out your custom YouTube strategy and see if this could be a good fit for your business. We'll see you there.